Today I'm going to be applying a little more moisturizer and foundation than I normally do. As you can see, my face isn't very happy with me, so I'm going to be applying more moisturizer just so that I have a little bit of a buffer between my skin and the foundation. And then I'm going to be applying a foundation, well, a BB cream technically, but if you're the kind of person who prefers a bit more coverage, then go ahead and apply your normal foundation concealer as much as you want. As most of you know, I prefer a lighter foundation, even if it shows through a few spots. I don't mind, I prefer the lighter look, but if you prefer something which is a little more heavy and a little more contoured, go ahead and do that. I'm also going to bring that BB cream up onto the brow bone just a little bit. And before I move on to anything else, I'm going to apply some powder on the cheekbones, the apples of the cheek, the forehead and the T-zone. So that's down the bridge of the nose and the chin. And then I'm going to apply some more of that BB cream just around the eyes a little bit. I'm not going to try and completely cover up the redness that I have around my eyes. I'm going to leave it for the most part, but I am going to take some concealer in the inner corner of my eye and then just over my dark circles. Now for the brows, I have two different ways that I prefer to do it. I either use something small like an angled brush, or I use something a little bit more fluffy like a blending brush. If I'm using something like an angled brush, I'll go through it in small strokes starting off in the centre of the brow, but then if I'm using something which is a little more fluffy like a C-shaped brush, I'll start on the outside and then work my way in so that I get a softer edge. It depends on what I'm looking for. If I want something with a harder edge, I'll use the angled brush. If I want a softer edge, I'll use something a bit more fluffy. Then I'm going to apply some primer and blend it out. Now today I'm going to be using two different colours from e.l.f. I'm going to be using this little gold colour, and then later on I'm going to use that brown colour underneath. I'm going to be applying that colour on the centre of the lid with my fingers, but if you're the kind of person who doesn't really like to use their fingers, that's fine, just go ahead and use a brush instead. I'm going to use a brush around the edges to blend it out. Of course you could try and use your fingers, but I prefer to use a brush for that. And then I'm going to use a dusty rose coloured blush, and I'm going to be using that on the apples of the cheeks, but then I'm also going to be bringing it a little bit down the cheekbones. Mostly the colour's going to focus on the cheeks though, just make sure that those edges are blended. And then I'm going to be using that brown colour that I showed you earlier. The main thing you want to do for the moment is just try and get it on the outer corner of the upper lashes, and then you're going to bring that down and around onto the lower lid. For the moment it doesn't have to be blended, just put the colour there. And then you want to go over it with a blending brush and try and blend this colour up. Aim for the very edge of the corner of your eyebrows. And if it helps, look down your nose at a mirror, and that really is actually a trick that always helped me quite a lot. But for the liner, I'm not going to be using a pure black eyeliner today. Instead I'm going to be using this colour, which is more of an off black, and it kind of borders on a dark grey. And I'm going to get this as close to the lashes as possible, but instead of doing a wing which goes up today, I'm going to have it follow the natural shape of my eye and point down a little bit. Once this is done, I'm going to make myself look like the Grudge a bit, and I'm just going to blend the outer corner. My favourite way to do this is just to close my eyes and then try and rub away with a brush on the very edge of the eyeline. Once that's done, I'm going to curl my lashes, and I like to curl them 3 times, once at the root, once in the middle and once at the end, before brushing through them with a spoolie. Now for bridal makeup, I'm not a huge fan of strip lashes just because, I don't know about you, but I tend to get a little weepy at weddings, so you don't really want the inner corner to lift up. So I'm going to be applying some Demi Lashes on the outer corner where they're not as likely to lift up, and then applying a lot of mascara to make them blend into the lashes. I'm also going to be applying mascara on the lower lashes, and just another little point, if you're doing wedding makeup, maybe go for waterproof. Final thing I'm going to do is use a bit of a purple lipstick on the lips and just dab it on so that it looks very natural and doesn't look like it's obviously been applied there. I'm going to blend out the edges with my fingers, finish off with some lip balm, and that's it. You're done.